Hi guys, today we are doing another 3 Looks 1 palette, and this is one that I haven't been this excited to do a 3 Looks 1 palette in a long time. So we're going to be using the Exotic Peacock palette by Pinky Rose Cosmetics. This is what the palette looks like. This is probably my favorite out of the bundle. If you haven't seen the videos that I've already made with these 3 palettes, I will link them in the corner for you. And I'm so excited about today because I love this color story so much. I just think it's so inspiring and so unique and so pretty and so colorful. So I think we should just get into it. I'm going to start off by priming my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. And I will also link the palette down below for you guys if you want to check it out yourself, because a lot of the time I always forget to link my palettes for some reason. And I always just assume that you guys know of the brands that I'm talking about, but obviously there's people who haven't heard about these brands because they're not really that big, since I do like to feature a lot of indie brands on my channel. So I'll make sure to link my palettes that I use from now on, and none of them are obviously affiliate links or anything like that. They're just links to the site. So the shadows that are speaking to me the most today are Risque and Erotic. So I want to use this kind of matte, like dirty olive shade, as well as this shimmer. And this is just so unique. I don't know if it really shows up on camera, but it's got like this beautiful shift to it. And I really want to use that together with one of the greens. So I kind of want to use this gray as well. And I don't really have an idea for what I want to do, but I kind of do in my head. And I don't know if I'll be able to explain it. But I do want this to be a bit of a, not graphic look, but also not like a super blended look. So I'm first going to go in with Discreet, which is the dark green shade right here. And I'm taking it on my Morphe E36 brush.
I'm sure none of you are surprised by that.
And I'm going to first start packing this in my outer corner, and I'm also going to sort of wing this out a bit and bring it down to my lower lash line. And I'm then bringing it up into my crease. And I'm going to bring this all the way in. And I'm also keeping it pretty high up, like above my lid. And I think this is going to be a fairly simple look because I'm only going to be using 3 shades, I think. That could always change though, because I feel like I always change my mind like as I'm in the middle of doing my looks, but that's going to be the plan anyway. So I'm going to leave it a little bit like this, and I also left a bit of room right here in my inner corner because I don't know what exactly I want to put there. If I want to do a green, if I want to do maybe a pink or a purple or something crazy. So I'm going to quickly do the same on this side. So I wasn't going to do this, but I'm actually going to go in and cut my crease, and I'm going to use my P. Louise base for this. This is the only thing I like to use this base for. Don't like to use it as a primer itself because it just creases so badly on me. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to do a cut crease all the way out here. So I'm just tracing my upper lash line now so that I can get a transfer, and it's a little bit easier to see where I need to cut my crease. And I'm cutting my crease right where the transfer is this time. Usually I will go a bit above my cut crease, but I really want the green to only show when I have my eye open. I don't really want my lid color to show except for just like in the inner part here. But I am going to make it a bit sharp right on the end here. So before this dries now, I'm going to go in with Risque, which is the matte shade, and I'm going to basically pack that all over where I cut my crease. And I'm probably going to have to go in and finesse this a little bit when I'm done and make sure that both eyes are looking even. And I'm really making sure to pack on a very thick layer of this now. And I also don't want this cut crease to be like super precise in the end. I am going to go in and like blend over the edges a bit so that it looks more grungy and not so perfect, which is why I'm not being super careful with where I place down the shadow. I just wanted to cover up a bit of that on the outer part here where I put down too much of the dark green. So now that I have my crease cut and my lid filled in, I'm going to go back in with that darkest green shade, and I'm taking it on my Morphe M149 brush, and I'm just going to kind of diffuse the edges a little bit. I don't want these to be super sharp. And I'm also pulling this down a bit more. I'm also taking a bit of a fluffier brush, and I'm going to just run that through my crease as well, just to make this a bit more blended. So I like how this is looking. I'm not going to blend out the outer edges because I want that to be kind of graphic. And next I'm going to go in with Erotic, and I think I'm just going to put this in my inner corner and also just wrap it around and meet it up with the green that I have on the lower lash line. This is such a fun, unique shadow. And I am bringing it up to my lid a bit and just blending it into that matte shade. So I was going to originally do white in the waterline, but I kind of want to do a pop of color, so I'm thinking I want to do a blue. So I'm going to use my Urban Decay pencil in Accuse, and I think this could look kind of good with this color scheme. So I'm going to sharpen this and then put some of this in my waterline. So I think this looks pretty good. I'm going to put on some black liner, I think. Do I want to do a blue liner maybe? No, I think I'm just going to do a black liner. So I'm going to put on a wing, do some mascara on my upper lashes, and then
I might do one of my Colourpop mascaras again. Should I go in with the blue?
I should probably go in with the blue. I mean, I feel like since I have them, I might as well try to get some use out of them, you know? So let me just do all of that real quick, and then I'll come back and we can put on a lipstick, which I have no idea what to pair with this. Alright, eyes are done, and for lipstick, I want to be kind of crazy today, and I want to use this one by Maybelline. It's one of their matte inks. And this is a kind of gray lipstick. It's in the shade Huntress. I just have a feeling that this might look pretty good with this look, and I've kind of not given these lipsticks enough love lately, so let me try to use another one today. I did use one in the video that I filmed yesterday too, which won't be yesterday when you see this, but I'm trying to get a little bit more use out of these. So I definitely overlined
Way too much, but
it's too late now and I can't really go back, so we're just gonna leave it at this. I do think this lipstick looks really cool with this look though. Yeah, I like this. This is different. Like, it's not something that I feel like I've ever done before. I know I say that a lot, but I really like to try new things and be creative, and I think I nailed this, if I can say so myself. At least the eye and the lip combo, I feel like that looks pretty good together. So I get that a lot of people are probably not going to like having gray lipsticks, but I'm here for it. So yeah, let me know down below what you think, and I think we should just get into look number 2, and maybe I can make this a little bit more
wearable.
Okay, let's get into look number 2. I am in such a good mood today for some reason, and I have no idea why, but my goal with today's look is to not have to change after I'm done, because I just got this shirt and I really like it, and I even put in my matching little pig earrings that I haven't used in 5 years maybe. So I want to make a look today that is going to complement my sweater and not make it look crazy, so that's what we're going to be doing today. But I should probably start off by priming my eyes, because I have not done that yet, because I am very disorganized right now.
Story of my life.
So just taking my MAC paint pot as always. So I think I mostly want to focus on the blues and greens today, but I also want to use the purple, I think, and also this shimmer shade right here. So what should I start with? I think I'm going to start taking this one, which is called Lovesick, and I'm going to put that in the first third of my crease, and I think I'm going to do a multicolored crease today. So I'm first going to take this shade, and then the green, and then probably the blue, maybe this blue. Haven't decided, but let's start off with Lovesick, and I'm just going to be using my Luxie 121 brush, I think this is, and I'm going to be placing this in the first third of my crease. And then on the same brush I'm going to take Discreet, and I'll be placing this right in the middle of my eye, in my crease that is. So there's not a huge difference between these colors, but I think there's enough to make it worth using both of them. And then in the outer part, I'm gonna go in with Truth, I think, and then I might go in with the purple in my outer corner, or possibly the shimmer. I think I'm going to do my shimmer. So I'm first gonna take Truth, and like I said, I'll be placing this in my outer third or so. And I'm just packing on the shadow. I'm not really doing a lot of blending. And I don't think I want to wing this out. I think I want to keep it kind of round today, which I always seem to say that and then it just ends up being winged out anyway, but let's try it again and see what happens. So I think I like this. I kind of wish that the first two colors that I put down were a little bit different, but can't really do anything about that now. So let me do this other eye now. So just before I do anything else, I'm going to take my Cosette S185 brush, and I'm just going to use this to blend out the edges just to make sure that everything is looking smooth. And I'm just using small circular motions with a very light hand. Okay, let's start with the lid now. I am in a mood where I don't feel like doing a cut crease today, I don't think. Or maybe I should, because I kind of want to go in with that light champagne shade, so maybe I should do a cut crease. I think before I do that, I think I am going to do a cut crease, but before I do that, I'm going to take Tease, which is the shimmery purple shade. And I'm going to place this in the outer corner. And I actually think most of the shimmers in this palette perform so much better on the eyes than they do swatched out, because I can really see like small glitter particles coming out when I do put them on my eyes, especially when I spray it. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly just go do a half cut crease, and then afterwards we're gonna go in with this shadow right here and probably put that on the rest of my lid. Alright, so let's go in with the wing shade. And I'm basically just going to pack this all over where I cut my crease, and then I'm going to go back in with that purple shade and just make sure that the blend between these are looking good. Going back in with Tease now, still using the same brush, and I'm going to bring the shadow in a bit more. And as you can see, I'm layering it on top of where I already put down that shimmer shade, so it's really making a nice gradient. And I'm being very light-handed with this. I'm also going to dip back into Truth, which is the dark blue. And I'm using my Morphe M149 brush, and I'm just going to make sure that the blue is still showing up and that the blend between the shimmer and the matte is looking good on the outer corner. And I'm also going to take that same shade and bring this down onto my lower lash line. And I'm taking this about 2/3 of the way in. And then to get a bit of a better blend, I'm also going to go in with Lovesick, and I'm going to take this shade on my Cosette brush, and I'm going to use that to just blend out the edges here. And then for the inner part, I'm actually going to go in with Peacock, and I'm going to put that on the inner third here and also meet it up with the shade that we have on the lid. So I'm actually going to take the lid shade and bring that down over the blue instead. So I actually really like how this is looking. I think this is such a fun look. So what should I do next? I think for my waterline, I'm going to go with a nude, so I'm going to use Honey Dude, I think this is. Yeah, Honey Dude. So I'm going to put this in my waterline, and then I'm going to put on some liner mascara, and I'll be right back, and we can probably figure out some kind of a nude lipstick to go with this. So I also went ahead and I put a little bit of this Pixie glitter right in my inner corners. I think that really made it pop a little bit extra, so maybe I should put more on my left side. I feel like it's not even. I feel like I need a little bit more just right here. I think that looks better. So I think for lips today, I just want to keep it very simple. So I'm going to use a lip liner by NYX, and this is in the shade Bedrose. And then on top of that, I'm just going to use my Fenty Gloss Bomb in Fuzzy. And I think that's going to look pretty nice and natural. And this is going to be the completed look. This is actually one of my favorite looks that I've done in a long time, I think. I think this came out really good. And I also feel like it complements my sweater, which is such a win because that never happens. So yeah, let me know down below what you think. I'm really happy with this look, and I feel like this is going to be my favorite even before having done my third look. But I guess we'll see what happens in the next look, so stay tuned. Alright, let's get into look number 3. I'm having so much fun with this palette. I have a blast using the Pink and Rose palette. So I think for today's look, I want to do a halo eye. So I want to do a pink and purple crease, and then I think I want to pop this green right in the middle or something like that. I think that could be kind of fun. I also have not used this blue, so maybe I'll do blue on like the inner and outer corners or something like that. I'm not really sure, but let's start off by putting the shadow right here in the crease. And I'm also keeping my shape here pretty round like I usually do with my halo eyes. And I'm also going to be pulling the shadow up pretty high, at least in the middle of my eye. The shadow is so pigmented that it just goes so far, it's kind of crazy. And I'm just going to run this brush right on top. I just wiped it off on the towel in front of me. And I'm just going to make sure that everything is looking blended. I kind of like to blend as I go. I know a lot of people like to put down their colors and then go in and blend after, but I usually will put them down and then go in and blend right away. So let me do the same thing on the other eye. And I feel like I took this color a little bit too far up right here, so I'm going to go in with a nude colored eyeshadow and just try to erase that a little bit. So I'm just going to run that right above where I felt like I overdid it and just pull the shadow down a bit. And you can tell that that pretty much fixed it already. So what I'm going to do next is...
What do I want to do? That's a very good question.
I think I am going to go in with Lustful, which is the purple matte. And I remember from my first impression that I wasn't so sure about the shadow. So we'll see if it works any better today. And if this is having a hard time sticking to my eyes, I can always go in with the shimmery purple, so it's not really a problem. So I'm just packing this on the inner part and the outer part of my eye. And the shadow is definitely not super pigmented. It's coming off a lot lighter on my eye than it is in the pan. So far this is the only shadow that I feel like hasn't really lived up to my expectations. But honestly, that's kind of okay. Like if I'm going to excuse a shade, it's going to be a purple just because I know how hard those are to make. But I mean, it's sticking on my eye. It's just a little bit lighter on my eye than it is in the pan. So what I'm going to do to just intensify this a bit is I'm going to dip into Tease, which is the shimmery purple. And I'm basically going to put that on top of where I put down the matte, just a little bit lower down. I don't really want this to go into my crease, but I just want a little bit more intensity, as you can see now, right on top of where I put down that matte. Alright, so I did go a little bit ham with that purple because I kind of over applied on this side and then I had to go back and do the same thing on the other eye. So for the middle of my halo eye, I'm going to go in with Provocative, which is the shimmery green shade, and this is one of my favorite shades in this palette. This is absolutely stunning. And I feel like this is one of those deceptive shadows that you can't really see how beautiful it is until you put it on your eyes. And then you just see all these beautiful glitter particles in it and how much dimension it has, and it just...
Oh my god, look at that.
So I'm basically just putting this right in the middle here. And then I'm trying to blend it into the purple without dragging it in or out too far. And you see how that look just went from crazy to kind of cool? You just have to trust the process. And just to make sure that everything is looking nice, I'm going to go back in with Sultry, which is the first shadow that we put down in the crease. And I'm just taking this on a very, very small fluffy brush, and I'm just going to be running this right across. So I don't think this is my best work by any means, but we're just going to keep going. So I'm going to take a bit more of that shimmery purple now and just make sure the blend between the purple and the green is looking good. And I think there is only one shadow in this palette that I have yet to use, and that is Enchanted.
Or Enchanted? Enchanted, right? Enchanted. I'm not really sure.
But this is the shimmery blue, so I'm going to spray this and put this on my lower lash line. And then for a bit of a pop in the inner corner, I'm going to take Peacock. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that right in here.
That's so pretty.
So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not completely happy about the blend right on top here, but that is mainly my own fault. But I can't really think of any way to fix this now, and I don't want to really go in and do anything crazy and make it look worse. So I think I'm just going to leave it. I might try to finesse it just a little bit right here. So I just tried to go in with a bit more of that purple. I wasn't going to, but then I kind of started and I didn't want to stop. So I tried to make sure that the blend here was looking good, but I don't think I really made too much progress. And it's really tough to blend out the edges here when you go in with a shimmer. So it's kind of my own fault that the blend here is not perfect, but we're just going to leave it as is because I don't want to go in and mess with it more and make it look worse. So for my waterline, I'm going to use this Makeup Forever blue pen in Aqua Ice. This is the color of it. So I feel like this is going to match my lower lash line pretty well. And then I'm going to put on some liner mascara and then I'll be right back. Okay, rest of the eyes are done. I think for lipstick, I'm going to use this one by Kokie. And I said in my first impression with this that I wasn't really a huge fan of the formula, so I want to give this a second chance. And this one is in the shade Summer Love. So I guess this is going to be the completed third look. I think I want to say that the second look was my favorite, and I even said that after I was done with the second look I thought it would end up being my favorite, so I was right, because I just really like that look. So let's talk about this palette for a little bit. So this is what she looks like now after having used, I'm pretty sure, all of the shades, and the only thing that I really feel like I can complain about is this purple. The purple is a little bit hard to work with. It's not as pigmented as it looks like in the pan, and even when you swatch it on your finger, it still comes off as pretty pigmented, but when you put it on the eyes, it kind of shears out a little bit. But I didn't have any problems with it getting patchy. It just looked a lot lighter, and I don't know why it did that. I don't really have any purples who do that otherwise. But overall, I love this palette so much, and I don't really have anything bad to say about it, to be honest. And I hope that when I'm done with the two other palettes as well, that I still won't have anything bad to say, because I love this. I love the packaging. I love how sleek it is. I love that it has a mirror inside. I love that I can actually bend this back and be able to show you guys, because it makes it so much easier. So overall, I'm so in love with this palette, and I don't even know if I want to rate this, because I don't want to like be mean because one shadow isn't working. So I just want to say that I love it. And yeah, if you're thinking about getting any of these, I would highly recommend them, and I think that you would like them too, because I am head over heels. I love the color story, I love the brand, I love everything about this palette except for the purples. So yeah, that was some of my 3 looks 1 palette. I am not sure what my next one is going to be. I feel like it's going to be with the new Violet Voss palette, so keep an eye out for that. I will have that up as soon as I get the palette, obviously. So thank you so much for watching. As always, if you are new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next video.